So to start our migration, I'm actually going to shut this down. And I'm going to turn off this Android emulator. Okay. Let's go back to our version 10. I mean, let's go back to version 9. Now go inside the workspace in the version 9. Let's list this thing. And right now I'm going to run a few commands. The first command I'm going to run is npx nx migrate latest. Actually, before doing this, I'm going to output the package.json so that we could easily reference it later as to what changes have taken effect. Let's do npx nx migrate latest. Okay, seems that our latest migration has run. We're going to run npm I right now to install those migrations. I'm also going to copy this command. Also, let me see if it added any extra files here. No, it looks like it didn't yet. Okay, let's run npm install. Okay, installation complete. Let's list it. And now let's run that other command, which we saw earlier. Right here, nx migrate. Except we have to run npx nx because we don't have nx installed globally. Okay, so it says successfully finished, although it had some issues here with workspace migrate ESLint tsconfig. Now if I list all files, you should see this new file, tsconfig base.json. This is a major change from version 9 to version 10, and basically the way the version 10 handles tsconfigs is going to be different, but that is something for a different video. Okay, now that we migrated our NX workspace, let's take a look what else we need to do now. So we still have Nativescript Angular version 9. We need to change that to 10. And there's a bunch of other packages like these Nstudio packages, which are also should be migrated to version 10.1. So we will actually do it in a bit of a different way, because right now I'd have to do a migration each one of them separately, and it just changes the version. So here we go. Right now I'm going to open a different program, and we're going to start comparing different files and changing them. For this, on Linux, I'm going to use this meld, and I'm going to compare files into directories. So I'm going to do directory comparison. I'm going to do other. I'm going to go to my version 9. Where is it? Nstudio update version 9 and NX update. Actually, I'm just going to stick to this one. Yeah, open. And I'm going to open NX10 and the other one. and compare. This is the reason why we called these two workspaces exactly the same, so that we don't get false positives saying that the workspaces have a different name, and we can only compare files which actually have differences between them. In our case, we're particularly interested in the package JSON as of now. So over here we have exactly the same. So this is NX10. I'm going to copy everything from NX10 to NX9 just by pressing this arrow here. Over here, same thing, because here we have a bit of a different command to start up our Nativescript applications. As you can see, there's TNS, and over here it's NS without any of this environment. So I'm going to copy this over. Now, NX Translate Core, we used version 13, 6, 7 here, version 12, 4, and 6 here. I'm going to just copy that over. Nativescript Angular 10.1 and Nativescript NGX font icon 7. Over here you can see it's version 6 and 9. Over here we have this in Nativescript INTL, which isn't even present here. I'm just going to switch it off. Then Xplat and Nstudio 9.04 here, 10.1.1 here, switch it over. Over here we have TypeScript and Nstudio Angular, okay. This is set to the latest version, NRWL Angular 10.1, okay. 10.1. Okay, this is something that got updated together with our migration, but it doesn't really matter because the version is exactly the same. Here the version is a bit lower than the version that is installed in version 10. Codealyzer is newer. Typesjust is older, surprisingly, on the newer version, but that's okay. I'm just going to switch it over. Just preset Angular 8.2.1. Just preset Angular 8.1.2. Whatever, I'll just switch it over for now. We'll see how it goes. Cypress 10.10, 10.20, and Nstudio Nativescript Angular. Here's the latest version, Types, Cursor Webpack plugin. Well, we don't really need that one right now. TNS Platform Declaration 650, that's an old one. Over here we have ngTools Webpack. I believe that's the one that will be replacing this. So we're just going to copy this over and copy this over. And now our files are identical for packages. I'm just going to have to save this one and run npmi once again. Actually, I'm going to have to clean the workspace and then run an npmi. So I'm going to run npm run clean. So now that I ran the cleaning of our workspace for NX9, let's see if any of our Angular or Nativescript projects still work. I'm going to open my cat package JSON and let's take a look if we can start the web application. No, we cannot run our web application because Angular version 10 has changed some of the ways that it works. I'm going to go into this libs core base component, into this libs features UI base header base component, and fix them up quickly. I'm actually going to do it right here in this program here because it will be a bit easier to see as to what's happening. Okay, so I'm going to go into libs core base. This is our base component here. So let me just close all these things. I don't really need to see all of them expanded like that. Okay, all I need is this base component. And here you can see the difference between version 9 and version 10. In version 9 we didn't have to put this decorator, the directive decorator, on above, but in version 10 we do need to do it. So I'm just going to copy this decorator over, and over here, the header section, I'm also going to copy it over. I'm going to save it, and I'm going to do the same with this UI section. Where's my features? UI, header based component, same thing, directive, and directive input. So let me just verify that this is the only thing that's different. Yes, only the directive is different. Okay, let's copy it over and save. And now let's take a look if this thing compiles. And it says compiled successfully. And let's check it out on localhost 4200. And here we go, our localhost 4200 is working. So our web application is working fine in version 10. Now let's test our Nativescript application.